On June 4th, 2021, 3 Locust Grove police officers in Henry County approached YouTuber Hellcat Infamous, suspecting him of loitering and potential involvement in drug-related activities at a gas station. Is the YouTuber related to any drug-related activity? Let's watch the video further and see what happens.
Shows up with a 54 male, quick trip, white, Dodge Charger.
Deputy Nicole Colleen Pitts led her colleagues to approach and interrogate the YouTuber about his activities. The other 2 officials made their way to the spot after being called there by the lady officer.
Are you hanging out? Are you meeting somebody? Are you waiting on somebody? Are you lost?
I live on.
So, the reason I'm asking, we've been here how long? Probably 20 minutes?
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah,
you hadn't got any gas. You hadn't gone in and got any food.
No.
You parked at a gas pump. And I know the tank's not on the side. It's on the other side, right?
No, I don't even take this for the gas.
So what are you doing?
The second officer entered the frame and asked the YouTuber whether he was hanging out with friends or doing something else. Subtly inquiring as to why he was there, the man responded that he resides there in response to the question, where the officer stated that they had a good reason to suspect criminal activity in the area due to its long-standing history of such activity.
Just chilling. I don't want to go home. I can't sit in the parking lot. Because I live out here.
Where you have some ID? Let me see your ID. Or is it at the bar?
Some people, what's the problem?
Let me see your ID.
Acting all confused, the cop asked the guy again, what exactly is he doing at the gas station? Clueless Hellcat asked whether he's doing something wrong while staying up there, as he was just chilling and grabbing something to eat, which is not wrong.
You can make it super difficult, but you do.
I'm just wondering why y'all. But I've literally been on the phone just talking.
I know.
Go and get your ID.
The YouTuber's identification was requested by the police, and the man complains and asked why she is doing so. The officer then advised the young man not to make matters any more difficult than they already were for themselves. The important thing to note here is, according to the 4th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, a police officer is allowed to stop a suspect on the street and frisk him or her without probable cause to arrest if the officer has a reasonable suspicion that the person has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime, and has a reasonable belief that the person may be armed. Well, in this case, the authorities assert that the YouTuber in question was loitering around the gas station and that the surrounding area was notorious for narcotics trafficking and other forms of criminal activity.
Get your ID, and then while you give us your ID, she can speak with you. But you need to identify yourself, so go and get your ID.
So right now, what it falls under is loitering.
Loitering?
Yes.
Yes.
Because if you were getting gas, waiting on somebody, if you were doing anything other than just kind of hanging out, it wouldn't be an issue.
Well, I've been on the phone.
We know.
This area is known for narcotic activity. It's known for criminal activity.
The other officer barged in and asked for the man's ID and said that he is needed to be identified, where the lady officer comes and talks about why he's waiting there so long, as the area is quite popular for narcotics activity, and that's why they're asking for the man's identification. The man claimed he lives out here, where the cop says he believed him but still asked for the ID.
Because, everybody...
I've never been
listen,
I know a lot of detectives.
If you notice the folks that come, they get their gas and they go.
Yeah, but
So, the state's definition of loitering is doing something not like the hanging out at the gas pump, not like a
The man gave his ID card for identification. After verifying the YouTuber's ID and discovering no prior criminal records, the officers continued their questioning before ultimately departing without filing any charges. This sequence of events raises questions about the legitimacy of their initial suspicion and the necessity of their prolonged interrogation. The absence of criminal records suggests a lack of reasonable grounds for their continued investigation.
That would add to it, but you didn't, so it makes it a lot better. You get what I'm saying?
But I literally come here all the time. I live here. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, that's fine,
That's
but you
fine.
can't just if you're not doing any business, if you're not getting gas, you're not
But I
going to
was
get food.
actually finna go in there. I just had a phone conversation.
Well, that's cool, but now that we've had this communication, it's what they call dispelling the alarm. Now that we're able to figure out, okay, this guy doesn't have any issues or anything like that.
Now, the lady cop is trying to make the man understand that she came to question due to suspicion, but the man didn't run away after seeing the cop, and that's a green flag that he didn't do anything, to which the man got furious and asked, why would he even run when he's done nothing wrong? To which she replied that it looked better. She was trying to explain why she came in the first place, but her explanation was kind of dumb and baseless. Where the other cop comes in and tried to save the conversation but failed miserably, as the YouTuber claims that he lives nearby and there's nothing wrong with calling on a gas station and talking for a half hour. To which the cop replied that now that we are dispelling the alarm as they had the conversation with the YouTuber and nothing is wrong here.
Then we could be by our merry way. But we never met you a day in our life. I've never met you.
I've never got
She's
that.
never met you. He's never met you. So we're just doing our jobs. What we're getting paid to do.
The cops have stated they're merely performing the duties for which they are paid, and the lady cop was talking on her walkie-talkie.
You got to, and then head on home, alright?
Yeah, but
Second
that's
thing,
kind of
you're-
crazy.
Look, it's
Like I've
Go-
never.
Go look up loitering in Georgia
No,
code section.
my father's a retired sheriff.
Okay.
I
Well,
know, but I've never.
like I said, this area is known for drug transactions. We're gonna make sure none of that's occurring here tonight. So
The lady cop told the YouTuber to get home, where the YouTuber replied and called her crazy, where the male cop jumps into the conversation and told to look up loitering in Georgia, where it turned out that the YouTuber's father is a retired sheriff, to which the male cop said that the area is known for drug transactions, and they're just making sure none of that's occurring there.
Well, no, I race at Silver Dollar. I do track nets. I don't do no drug activity.
and like he said earlier, the reason we got out with you and asked you and didn't just like immediately throw you in handcuffs is called dispelling the alarm. That's all that happened. So, but do these change? Like, can you make them just one regular color?
I could turn them off with a switch.
Okay, so the blue lights, you can't have blue lights.
The female officer stated there's a party going on in the area and they're concerned that there will be drugs involved. Because of this, they approached the YouTuber and asked him about it. However, the situation is completely different than what the officer stated, as there are many people in the gas station, but the police only had suspicions about the YouTuber, possibly because of his race. And they requested the YouTuber to change the color of his car's light, questioning why the blue color light is on rather than the standard one.
then you definitely should. Then you should definitely understand our job. Then you should.
I've never been stopped for that.
Then you should understand. If you say all these things, and if you're in the profession, you would understand why we're doing
Well,
our
that's
job.
why I had no problem.
Right. And
But
we
that's
definitely appreciate
random.
the cooperation. No, it's not random. We sat there for a while.
The YouTuber tried to explain his point of view, stating that his father's a retired sheriff and he won't do things like that, to which the cop tried to explain himself, stating that the YouTuber should understand where the police are coming from. And then the cop stated they appreciate the cooperation. The policeman tried to explain they saw a guy coming towards the YouTuber and thought it could be drug-related, that's why they intervened, but the YouTuber replied the car he's driving. The guy complimented the car and nothing else.
Affairs going on. Now we're gonna be about our way. Because if we thought something nefarious was going on, then we'd be going a whole different direction. You understand? But we have to dispel alarm, make sure nothing nefarious is going on. You understand that?
The officers state that they'll be on their way after conversing with the YouTuber. They explained that if they had suspected any suspicious or illegal activities, their approach would have been different. However, their intention was to dispel any concerns and ensure that no nefarious actions were taking place. They encouraged the YouTuber to familiarize themselves with the relevant code section, specifically mentioning loitering, spelled it out, and recommended looking it up for further information.
Look it up.
Deputy Nicole Pitts, who was one of the cops that was involved in the event, was made to face the consequences of her actions by having her employment with the Locust Grove Police Department terminated. The particular factors that led to her being fired are being kept a secret for time being. During the course of a phone call, Chief of Police Derek Austin verified the accuracy of this information. On November 14, 2022, an incident occurred at an SKLD Wyoming nursing home involving a staff member named Sue and a visitor named Michelle. Sue, the administrator of the facility, called the police on Michelle, accusing her of trespassing and taking pictures of her mother without permission. Despite Michelle's claims that she had not committed any crime and that the nursing home was a public facility, the police quickly convicted her of trespassing and detained her.
She's not on the trespass list, so. Officially trespasser.
There you go.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Sue. I'm the administrator. So we have a family member who had an allegation against her, and so we've reached out to her and let her know that if she wants to visit, we need to meet with the team here and figure out a way we can keep the mom from being. Her guardian does not even want her to visit, but we talked her into letting her. If we do supervised or promise that she won't take pictures of her mom and put them all over Facebook and TikTok and stuff because the guardian doesn't want that happening. She came in, refused to talk to me, slammed the door in my face, wouldn't let me in the room. So
Do you want to trespass?
yeah, at this point,
best
yes.
way to get her out of
Until she will come in and meet with us and figure out what
you
we
can always
do.
take the no trespass order
Because-
away, but
yeah.
let's get her trespass. That's the
Because
way
I don't want
to
to. I don't want to not let her see her mother, but she needs to do it so we can keep them out safe.
During the encounter, Michelle argued that the nursing home, being publicly funded, should not be able to trespass on her without reasonable cause. She even mentioned contacting the facility's vice president, who allegedly stated that she had not committed any crime. Michelle believed that her actions were protected by her First Amendment rights, allowing her to visit the facility and take pictures freely. However, the police insisted that trespassing occurred because the nursing home, as private property, had the authority to restrict entry as they deemed necessary. They maintained that Michelle's refusal to cooperate and meet with the facility's team justified her trespass conviction.
Pretty much like anywhere, just like if you walk into a speedway, they can say, "Hey, I don't want this person here anymore." Doesn't matter what the reason for. If they tell me that, and they want you they say, "Hey, I want them trespassed."
So when I come back tomorrow, I go to jail?
Yeah, you can't come back
Okay.
until you
I
figure it
will
out.
be coming back.
Okay.
And I already let the vice president and president, I spoke to them today. They said, we haven't heard anything. Well, then why are they doing this? You might want to call her.
Call them and tell them to talk to Sue then.
Correct.
That's the best you can do right now.
Yep, this is just I'm sorry, this is a fucking joke.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong, but so don't come back on the property until you clear it up with the vice
I'm coming back
president.
tomorrow. I'll be here every day, and I don't care if I go to jail. I've already been told by lawyers, by the advocates that help Britney Spears. National News, the News 8, everybody's on this. So they've already told me, if you have to push the envelope, because that's just going to seal the lawsuit. Huh?
You're not going to be able to do that.
No, but it'll seal the deal when I'm getting arrested for no crime.
Okay.
Trespassing not be the crime.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They can't say I'm trespassing when I've committed no crime.
That is the crime. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Michelle expressed her frustration and stated her intention was to return to the facility, disregarding the trespass warning. She believed that her case had gained significant attention, citing advice from lawyers and advocates who had helped Britney Spears. She asserted that pushing the envelope and standing up for her rights would strengthen her potential lawsuit against the nursing home. Furthermore, Michelle claimed that one of the police officers violated her Fourth Amendment rights during her detainment. She alleged that he forcefully tried to seize her phone while she was attempting to inform her children of the situation. Despite not having committed any crime that warranted handcuffing, she was restrained by the officer.
I'm not giving it to you.
Okay, well then you're going to be detained until we figure that out then.
Huh?
Then you're detained until we figure that out. And
Why are you detaining me?
Because right now you have to be trespassed.
Okay, well, can I make one phone call?
Nope, you have to give me your driver's license.
I
or
don't
just tell me
have
your name.
to give you. You already know my name.
Okay, can you write down her name?
Oh my God!
Exactly how it's spelled.
So
until we can find you and we can figure out who you are.
Hold on, I'm gonna
Exactly.
call and let them know. Go pick up my kids that I'm being arrested.
You're not being arrested right now.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
being detained.
So detained and arrested are two different things. Being
Hold
arrested
on.
means that you've been charged for something. Being detained is temporary.
Hold on, I'm being detained
Okay. Do you want to?
because I won't give them my license.
All right. So what's
I've
your
done
date?
nothing wrong.
What's your date of birth?
I've committed no crime.
What's your date of birth?
I committed no crime.
Okay, now you're being detained then.
Police officer.
And then we'll get a fingerprint scanner and then we'll figure it out. Let go of the phone.
Randy, you want to work with the photo?
I'm not doing anything
Okay,
wrong.
right now, you need to
We're not
present
playing games with you.
Only
It
if
ain't
I've committed a crime
not
and
true.
reasonable articulable suspicion, and I've done nothing of the
So
sort.
right now you've been trespassed, okay?
Uh-huh.
So we need to identify you so we can
Uh-huh.
successfully trespass you by doing our lawful job.
Okay.
Michelle's perspective on the incident raises concerns about the staff's handling of her visitation rights and the violation of her constitutional rights by the police officers. She intends to take legal action, asserting that her rights were infringed upon throughout the incident. In yet another troubling incident that occurred on October 31st, 2022, a visually impaired man named Jim Hodges was illegally arrested and detained by 2 Columbia County cops in Florida. The officers, Deputy Jamie Godey and Sergeant Randy Harrison, claimed that the walking stick Hodges had in his back pocket was a firearm, leading to his arrest without lawful authority. The encounter was captured on video by Hodges himself. When the officers approached him and questioned the object in his back pocket, Hodges explained that it was a walking stick. However, the officers insisted on obtaining his identification and detained him, citing their suspicion he was carrying a weapon.
Hey.
What's this in your back pocket? I just saw you walking it.
It's a navigational aid. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes,
I'm
sir.
here.
I was
You
investigating.
have reasonable,
Do you want me to
articulated
put you in
suspicion.
handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
Hodges questioned the officer's authority and refused to provide his identification, stating he had not committed a crime. He asserted that his Fourth Amendment rights protected him from unreasonable searches and seizures without probable cause or a warrant. Despite Hodges' explanations, the officers continued to detain him and insisted on checking his identification.
Well, you're being one to me.
No, sir, I'm
Have a
doing my
good day.
job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me
Call
to
your
put you in?
supervisor,
He's right
please.
here.
All right.
You know.
Sir, what you stop for? For a walking stick.
So-
And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to really present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable, articulated suspicion that I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime. Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking you for your ID. Well, now she has verified that I am not armed. Okay. So there is no problem. You have your ID or not? I do have my ID, but you don't need it. Okay. Okay. Sir, you do that.
77 Whiskey Mike 15. Where's wallet at?
Where's your wallet at, sir? I don't have a wallet on me.
Okay, where's your ID?
Where's your ID at? Pocket. Which pocket? You are not allowed to search me.
It's in this pocket.
There you go.
Thank you.
The incident constitutes a clear violation of Hodges' Fourth Amendment rights, which protect against unreasonable searches, seizures, and false imprisonment. Florida statutes define false imprisonment as forcibly confining, abducting, imprisoning, or restraining another person without lawful authority and against their will. In this case, the officers wrongly arrested and detained Hodges, despite identifying the object in his back pocket as a walking stick.
It's gonna be. I want your name and your badge number. You know, I put you in jail for resistance.
Okay. All right, let's go.
I want your name and badge number too, sir.
Have a seat.
You want to pick my property up, please?
I sure will, after you have a seat.
You want to pull this out of my back pocket?
Sure. Here, I'll grab your jacket for you, too.
After an investigation by the sheriff's office, it was determined that Deputy Godey and Sergeant Harrison had violated several department policies. As a result, Sergeant Harrison was immediately demoted and suspended without pay for 7 days, while Deputy Godey received a 2-day suspension. Both officers were also required to undergo remedial training on civil rights. Hodges has retained an attorney and plans to file a lawsuit against the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. He's also requesting a federal investigation into the incident. The case highlights the importance of protecting individuals' constitutional rights and holding law enforcement accountable for any violations. In this next video, in May of 2020, an incident unfolded in Columbia County, Georgia, where a man was filming a video outside the store. However, the owners of the store called the police on him, prompting officers from the Columbia County Sheriff's Office to respond. The officer in charge approached the man and requested his identification, citing a call about his videotaping activity.
Yeah, we got a call about your videotape
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
just-
property. You haven't?
No, I'm not on their property. I never step on nobody's
Oh,
property.
okay.
No, sir.
No, I just got the call.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just letting you know.
Do you have a driver or an ID?
Well, I don't show my ID. I don't do nothing wrong. You understand? I'm filming in public, giving people free advertisement, and they approach me. And if you could just tell them that I'm not doing anything wrong, and
But you weren't on the property.
no, sir, I'm very careful not to do that. I'll pull GIS surveys, and been doing this a long
What are you
time.
videoing for, if you don't mind me asking?
First Amendment, protected activity, just
Just doing like
yeah, free advertisement.
Do you live around here? Are you from here? I've
No,
never- I
I'm
don't see- I've
no,
never
I'm not
recognized
from
you
around here. Most people know me. I do this. I go around and, show people right from wrong, wrong from right. And, when they say they call the
Yeah, we
police, I
just
don't
got a call
leave.
about it.
Yeah.
Just checking on it.
Yeah.
But you were never on the property?
No, I'm very close. Never ever to do that. Matter of fact, far as I was right there at the edge of the curtilage, the GIS survey starts.
The man asserted that he had not committed any wrongdoing and explained that he was filming in a public area to provide free advertisement. He emphasized that he was careful not to trespass or infringe upon anyone's rights. Refusing to show his identification, he relied on his understanding of Georgia law, which states that unless someone has broken the law, they are not required to identify themselves. The officer alleged that the man had trespassed on the store's property, despite video evidence proving otherwise. However, the officer persisted in requesting identification to potentially charge the man with trespassing. The man maintained his innocence and questioned the basis for his detention, as he had not committed any crime.
Unless I've broken the law, you don't have to ID in the state of Georgia. Am I being detained?
Well, for the moment, yes.
For what crime?
Till we find out what's going on.
To what crime am I being committed?
We were called because you were on their property.
Right, and he determined I wasn't.
Okay. Hang tight just a minute, we'll get you out.
Am I being detained for an unlawful reason? Yes or no?
Right now, you're being detained because you were on their property, and we're trying to find out what's going on.
Okay, and I can prove that I wasn't on their property, and they can't prove that I was. Or, there again, issue me a trespass, I'll be on my way, and then we'll go to court, but...
A staff sergeant arrived at the scene, and the man recounted the entire incident, including his rights and the lack of any illegal activity. As the man spoke, the two deputies involved in the arrest stood by, seemingly embarrassed.
How are you? What was your name and badge number, sir?
Sure, it's Staff Sergeant Johnson, 93159.
Hey, Johnson. I was explaining to them, I'm out here exercising my rights, First Amendment right. Private property starts about 1.2 foot on the other side of that telephone pole per government document survey. Well, okay. Anyway, I did my homework. I'm down here giving some people free advertisement. They called the police to me. This deputy here legally detained me for 18 minutes and 32 seconds for no suspicion of nothing. He told me that I had to show him my identification to be trespassed. I explained to him I was on the curtilage of that road. Right there, their property starts at the front tire of that VW. Okay. And I'm trying to exercise my rights. Both of them gentlemen stood in a auditorium or courthouse with their hand on a Bible, and they swore an oath to protect my civil rights.
Yes, sir.
He's wanting my Fourth Amendment violated. He's wanting my First Amendment violated. And they called the police to me and lied. I got 28 minutes of video that shows me doing exactly what I'm doing right now on public property, exercising my right as an American.
So at any time did you go on their property?
No, sir. Look. He knows exactly who I am.
Which one?
To the left.
Okay.
And I told him I'm gonna file a formal complaint on him and him. And y'all have never, ever had a problem with Columbia County.
Right.
Ever. And once you realize who I am and what I'm doing, and it really makes y'all look bad, man. And I'm illegally detained for no crime. That's a.
As long as you haven't been on their property, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Because you're outside their property, and you're legally doing what you need
Absolutely.
to do.
Can you explain that to them so they don't violate anybody else's rights?
And they don't want you on their property.
Absolutely.
So
and I don't go on their
that's why they
property.
were just saying a criminal trespass warning. So you've been warned.
I've been warned the first time that don't get an ID. The second time you do. See, he didn't know that. He didn't know that.
I'm good to go with you if you're.
I'm good to go. Am I still detained? Thank you. Oh, and thank you. I'll wait till y'all leave and then I'll leave.
The staff sergeant acknowledged the man's explanation and confirmed that he had not been on the store's property. The man expressed his intention to file a formal complaint against the deputy who detained him, citing violations of his Fourth Amendment rights and First Amendment rights. Eventually, the deputies conceded that there was no illegality in the man's filming activity and allowed him to leave without further detainment. This incident serves as a reminder of the importance of understanding and upholding individuals' constitutional rights, even during encounters with law enforcement.